I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces. That's why we're still there. We were clear-eyed about the risks. We planned for every contingency, but I always promised the American people that I would be straight with you. The truth is, this did unfold more quickly than we had anticipated. So what's happened? Afghanistan political leaders gave up and fled the country. The Afghan military collapsed, sometime without trying to fight.
Let's speak to Mark Kimmitt, the former Assistant Secretary of State for Political and Military Affairs. He joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Mark, good to see you. So President Biden saying, look, the mission in Afghanistan was never about nation building. It was all about counter-terrorism, and that goal has been achieved. What do you make of that?
Well, if the counterterrorism mission was defined as hunting and killing Osama bin Laden, that happened 10 years ago on his watch as vice president. If that was the case, then I don't understand why we didn't leave at that time. But the fact remains is both the Obama administration and its predecessor, the Bush administration, were mired down in nation-building efforts that caused the United States to add to the number of tasks that they were doing, add to the number of objectives that they were seeking, and that's what kept us there almost 20 years.
He is right about one thing, though. I mean, the Afghanistan war is deeply unpopular in the United States. Do you think most of the public will applaud the decision to withdraw U.S. troops?
Well, I think so, but every president since George Bush went in has been trying to withdraw. The issue at hand and what we're seeing in those pictures has nothing to do with the withdrawal. And the red herring argument that the president was using about I did not want to stay another 5 years, another 10 years, has nothing to do with the facts at hand. The embarrassment that we saw at Hamid Karzai International Airport is a direct result of his administration's shambolic departure from Kabul. And I don't understand why that happened. And candidly, I don't think the American people do either.
He says that the U.S. administration has planned for every contingency, that they went into the withdrawal plan with open eyes. Do you think they planned for a Taliban government sitting in Kabul?
Oh, I think they do. I think they fully understand that at some point in time, it was inevitable that it would happen. But again, it didn't have to happen this way. So that's the issue. Did they plan for what could only be considered cut and run with these pictures that we're looking at now, where people are hanging onto wings and falling off the airplanes at 3,000 feet in the air? That's a national embarrassment, and as a national security team, bears responsibility for that embarrassment.
He says that once the evacuation is over, once American citizens and vulnerable Afghans have been taken to safety, that's it. That's the end of the U.S. military mission in Afghanistan. What do you see going forward? I mean, will the U.S. still try and maintain some kind of relations with Afghanistan? Will they try and engage with a Taliban government? I mean, what is to come between the two countries?
Well, I think the relationship is going to be defined by one simple task, and that's counterterrorism. Fact remains is that the United States military mission in Afghanistan may be over, but that doesn't mean the United States will not enter Afghanistan if we start seeing terrorist activity starting to grow the way we did pre-9/11. So President Biden may think the military tasks are over until that night when he has to send American troops from a faraway nation into Afghanistan to kill or capture terrorists. And that's a much more difficult task than doing it from inside the country. We saw how dangerous it was to send troops into Pakistan to kill the most wanted terrorists in the world. And trying to do that, as he says, over the horizon, I think is a prescription for disaster.
Mark, thank you. Mark Kimmitt speaking live from Washington, D.C. there.